Welcome back, everybody, to the Fighting for Freedom podcast. I just want to say thank you to everybody for all your love and support. You guys have helped this channel grow dramatically. If you could please, at this time, drop us a like, comment, subscribe, share our podcast, turn on those bell notifications, and leave us a rating and good review. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Fighting for freedom, one podcast at a time.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of the pod. I got my homie Brandon here today. What up, bro? How you doing?
Thanks for having me, bro.
Of course.
So much.
This dude comes from across the way from Jersey. Wait, you said Patterson, New Jersey?
No, I'm from Princeton, New Jersey.
Princeton, that's right. That bougie place.
It's a little central Jersey area.
It sounds bougie. Is it really bougie? Or
I mean, it's just like, it's a college town, but I live in the outside of Princeton, so it's like all like rural areas, because I live in a ranch, so it's like...
Wait. So you're from New Jersey, but you live on a ranch?
Yeah.
That's wild. How far are you from New York?
Probably an hour and a half.
Oh,
2 hours. Yeah, I'm like central.
Far.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when I think Jersey, right, I'm pretty sure everybody listening, when you hear Jersey, you think of, the Jersey Shore or, like Newark, like the Prudential Center, like, or even like where the Jets and Giants play, like MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, there's actually a lot more to Jersey than just the shore. But we get a bad rep from all the Jersey Shore cast, so...
Well, what's crazy is, like, not even all of them are from New Jersey.
None of them are from Jersey.
No, there is. I think there was Snooki. I think she was from Jersey. I don't think Jenny was. Angelina, definitely not. Adina was. She was from Jersey. That was Snooki's best friend. And Mike. And Sammy Sweetheart. So 4 of them out of, 8?
I think so.
Yeah. 4 out of 8 are from Jersey, and it's called the Jersey Shore, but, it is what it is. Well, there's 2 from Staten Island, and Staten Island is, like, a big part of the Jersey Shore. Like, everybody goes down to the shore, dude. I remember spending, like, most of my summer down at the shore rather than, like, in New York,
Okay.
And you would think, like, Manhattan, New York, like, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's nothing beats the Jersey Shore, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Elmore,
that's where I go. I go to Belmar and Point Pleasant, and then LBI. LBI is the big spot.
LBI is the big spot, yeah.
That's where all the Jersey people go.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
real Jersey.
The old Jersey people.
Yeah.
The ones that are just like, I'm over this.
Everyone from Philly goes to either Wildwood or Seaside.
I had my what is it called? After prom. I had my after prom at Wildwood, actually.
Okay, yep.
That was fun. My mom drove me down, gave me $50 for beer. I was like, this is great. She was like, I'll be back in 3 days to pick you up. That was just
$50 for beer? That's...
Well, this was in 2012.
Now
I got
different.
I got like 5 cases of Bud Light, and then everyone else threw money in too. But it was a wild time.
That's awesome.
It was like, it wasn't my house, but like one of the people that we were with, they had a house.
And she grouped everyone in?
No, dude. I got my own hotel room with like 4 of my other boys, but the house that they got, within the first like 2 hours of like everyone being in the house, there was holes. There was like 60-something holes all over the wall. Someone took a table, like all 4 of the legs, and just shoved it into the wall. So the table surface was, dude, it was bad.
Oh, wow.
The fire alarms went off. People were spraying each other with fire extinguishers. The cops came. The fire trucks came.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't put money on that.
That's wild for you.
Well, those were the rich kids, because their parents put the down payment on the house. They did all that.
That's crazy.
I just got some bullshit motel with cold water and like a bed.
But hey, it's cheap though. It's cheap.
Yeah.
It works. As long as you can find a bed to sleep in and a roof over your head, I think that's fine.
Hell yeah.
Most of the time you're in the beach, so.
Exactly. Especially in 2012, like no one,
Yeah.
But it was scary. Like everyone knew, like, college, like not college kids, but like high school kids coming down here for like their prom, right? So like drinking in public was definitely a thing, but if it was in a red Solo cup, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Some wild times. But anyway, enough about me. Let's get back to you. So you're from Princeton, right? And you said it's like a country type ordeal.
Yeah, so I live like right in the outside of Princeton. It's called Skillman area. I just say Princeton because that's where everyone knows.
Yeah.
I live in like Skillman area, which is like all like farm town and just like there's nothing there besides people like have horses, they have cows, I don't raise anything besides vegetables.
Bring vegetables.
Vegetables. But we live in like a farm town, but it's like 10 minutes away from Princeton where like Einstein went. Really? All the smart people. Yeah, Einstein went to Princeton.
Damn,
Yeah, this house is gated off and everything.
Is it like a museum or is it like
it's no one can go in, no one can go into the what's called the property at all.
Property line.
So like it's all gated and everything. It's like very well kept. So a lot of people come over just to take pictures and then they walk away.
Is it a big house?
No, it's like one of those. It's like a small townhouse.
I would figure because like when Einstein was around, like a big house wasn't a big house.
No.
It was just a house. You're like,
Yeah,
you got a house looking crazy.
Yeah, it's just like a small like little house. But then a lot of people come for like the architecture in Princeton because everything is like from like the 1800s or something like that.
That house definitely has not been touched.
Yeah.
But like that house nowadays would probably be like maybe like $4 million.
Just because it's antique, but yeah. That area is that strip area where Nassau Street is. That's like all the expensive houses and stuff. So
really,
because no one's touched it since like the 1900s.
Gotcha. Do they have like a? Well, I already asked if there was like a museum, but I don't know why. That's like potential right there to like take that, make it a historical landmark, make it a museum, and like people wouldn't be able to go in unless they did whatever the hell they had to do. But at least like go up to it, go see it. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like right off the street, so you can just walk by on the sidewalk, see the house, and then that's it. But it's so small, you can't have like a bunch of people in there.
Yeah, you don't like make it a day thing. You just drive by.
That's
take a picture.
Yeah, that's more you park on the side, take a picture, and leave. That's it. And then just a little description box that says Einstein's house, blah, blah, and what he did there in Princeton.
That's dope.
That's it, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But so Einstein's from your neighborhood, right? Or your town. Do you have like military in your background in that town? Is it a heavy military? Is people don't
So New Jersey area where I'm from, it's not really much military. It's all like farmers, but like even they are not like military people. They support the military and everything. They when I came back home for the first time, they put flags down my driveway and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
They're very supportive of military, but it's a very small military town because the town I live in, it's more the town like most of the people that I graduated with are either like lawyers or business people and things like that. They're like all into like the school stuff,
like and farmers, like that's like generation and generation.
That's a generation.
Like you don't wake up one day and go, what? I'm gonna be a farmer today.
No,
that doesn't like work.
I had a friend that woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, milking feeding the cows and everything right before he went to school, and he always smelled like just like farm, farm.
Yeah, he was fed on corn. He was corn fed.
But he's the type of guy that I thought he would go to the military, but no, he's actually going to. He went to agricultural school in Penn State.
Good for him.
And like. So, like, everyone in my college went to, everyone in my town went to college. So.
What about you?
So, I went to, so school was not my thing. I actually grew up in New York, in Long Island.
Oh, okay.
I moved into Princeton area when I was going into freshman year. My background is, like, I hated school. I don't like reading. I don't like writing. I like doing like visual, like artistic stuff. Like my thing is more creativity and like being hands-on than like
you're hands-on. You're a kinetic learner. You're not a book reader.
Yeah, most of the people back at home are all book readers and like they're all smart.
Yep.
But no, I didn't go to school. I actually went to a community college for 1 year. And I was like, no, it's not me.
Did you just like have that? Like I got out of high school. Everyone goes to college right out of high school, so I'm going to go.
Yep.
That's exactly what I did.
I paid for, I think, 2 classes, and I'm like, this is not it. This is
I paid for 2, but I'm only going to 1.
Yeah.
And I'm barely going to the 1.
Yeah. But, like, before even, like, during high school, I was into, like, TV Pro and things like that. So, like, I was always, like, the guy that always did the morning announcements, and, like,
really?
Yeah, I love being on camera. I love being behind the camera. I was, like, the go-to guy to do all the sports highlight videos and stuff because I can sit on the computer and edit for hours.
Really?
Yeah, I can do that. It's just like an artistic, it's something I enjoy, so I can do that. I can sit down and do that.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you wanted to join the military. There's no inspiration into your community. How did this come about?
So I filmed. So I was doing like wedding videos and stuff like that since like right out of high school. I was filming wedding videos, music videos, all type of private events and stuff. There was some point where I was like, I was getting like a creative block, and like all my videos were starting to look the same, and I noticed that, and like that really aggravated me.
Yep.
I needed something to do that's like so outside the box and not in my realm to like get a different like perspective. So I walked into the recruiter's office.
Yeah, you know,
showing the Navy.
you know, the crazy is we have a lot more than I actually thought. Like, I know we're both from the East Coast. Like, Jersey and New York, it's like, I mean, you could say they're different states because they are, but they're one and the same. You know what I mean? Like, you can go one way or the other. But I joined the military for like kind of the same reason. Like, I just wanted to like do something drastic and get away.
Yeah.
Like, instead of like moving to a different state and like being broke and starting from scratch, I was like, well, how can I do that but like have money?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm from the Navy. You know,
Yeah.
like, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
that's dope, man.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm glad you actually, did what I did, because to me that sounded like the right decision.
Yeah, no, it was the best decision. When I was going to the recruiting office, there's like, "What are you good at?" I'm like, I try to tell them that I'm good at like other things because I did not want to go in as an MC because that's what they wanted me to go. It's like, "Oh, so you'd be a perfect MC." I'm like, "No, I'm trying to like get away from like the creative stuff and do something else." So I took the ASVAB and everything, and I scored higher on the mechanical side. So then that's why I became an MM.
Hands-on, man.
Hands-on stuff, yeah, because but that's different engineering thinking. So
And MM, that's machinist mate, right?
machinist mate. Yeah.
What do you just fix big machines or?
So we fixed turbines, ACNR, and any type of pumps, and really anything like in the engine room, like working on diesel engines and small engine, like small boats,
Okay.
things like that.
Do you have any comparison to what an MC does in their day to day than what you would have did? Like, for example, so before I joined the military, I went to nursing school, right? And I graduated as a medical assistant. So when I went to the recruiter's office, same thing. They were like, I was like, I want to be like a corpsman. And they were like, oh, you have medical background, but you have a degree, so you're kind of too qualified for this job. And what I mean by that is they were like, we want people to know absolutely nothing and teach them from square one. This is how the military does it. This is how we want you to do it. Not you coming in here trying to act like you know everything, which is totally understandable because that's probably exactly what happened. I was like, that's not how you do that. You know what I mean? Like, I just spent $35,000 to know that's not how you do that. But for the same reasons, right? That's why they do it. So is there any comparison to what an MC would do compared to what you were doing?
So I actually was able to. I was on the Ronald Reagan before I came here. I used to look at the MC people and I'm like, hey, can I like just like see what you guys do? Because I see you guys flying on helicopters. I'm like, I want to do that.
Well, you should have listened to your recruiter. And the one and only time I'm ever gonna say you should have listened to your recruiter is with this dude right here.
So I asked one of the guys that he had one of the cameras I know. So I made like he was walking around the P-way and I'm like, hey, you shooting on a Sony? And he's like, yeah. How do you know? Like, oh, I know a little bit about photography.
Yeah. So I'm looking at my rack. You just got videography.
All my stuff. Yeah. But no, then I told him like, I used to shoot, and I showed him some of my stuff on my phone, and he's like, wow, you actually do like pretty decent work. I'm like, oh, thank you. He's like, hey, come to the shop. It's like, all right, I'll come down to the shop. Went down to the shop, saw like the whole gear and everything, and I asked my chief if I could like be TAD to media for like a month, and it was like a very far stretch because like my department knew like I was a creative guy because they seen all my work on Facebook. So they're like
everyone's which is social, and they hop on and they're like,
yeah,
what the hell is it?
So I got the MC chief and the my chief, and they both got a whole like paperwork thing, little like request shit, and I got it done. I got TAD to the media department while we were on deployment.
How long were you there for a month, or did it go longer?
I was there for a straight month, 30 days exactly.
That's kind of shitty.
It was, but like it was something far fetched. I'd never know it was gonna like happen. But we're on deployment, nothing's going on. We're just traveling around, and there's nothing to do. So I got TAD to them, and then it was awesome.
That's dope.
I love it. And I was able to do one flight on a helicopter, and I'm never doing it again.
Why?
So we sat down. So we're not just like sitting down in a helicopter and we're like strapped in, like everything like that. No, where our feet are dangling on the side of the helicopter.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
I didn't know that. They didn't tell me that.
Well, how else you gonna take pictures?
That's what I was.
You gotta be facing the outside.
That's I didn't think of all that. I just like all I wanted to do was get on a helicopter and get that flight experience. So I sat down. They said, "All right, I sit here." They harnessed me in the back. Next thing you know, the blade started running and running, and then the pilot just lifts up, probably like 4 or 5 feet.
You sit there like, yeah, the door's open.
I was like, okay, cool, this is awesome. I'm scared. The ship is moving forward. You see all the waves crashing. I'm like looking at the bridge this way because we're facing forward. The pilot goes up, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he dips it to the left. My feet are up like this, and I fall back, but the harness caught me. But I was facing, this is the forward part. But like, pilot goes up, dips it back, and goes straight up. All I saw was just like It was me looking at the bridge and sky. And I'm like freaking out. I was
This is
terrified.
Yeah, I think there's a certain way too with like the way like aircraft lands on a carrier and like comes off a carrier that they have to do it a certain way. I did when I was in Okinawa, I did it's called underwater egress training,
Mhm.
and the only way for you to be able to go in helicopters and do missions and shit like that is to go to this class and potentially, well, whatever word that I'm looking for. Whatever you have to do is you go in this helicopter and it's a full size helicopter, like just like the cargo area, right? No tail, it doesn't really actually work. And they strap you in and you have your rifle and your full kit on, and they take this helicopter and they put it into a giant pool.
Oh, yeah.
And they put you in the pool and they're like, all right, get out. And you're like, okay, this is easy. But it gets harder and harder as you go. Like, they put you in different positions on the plane. They make you stay for longer on the water. They turn the whole helicopter upside down. Because you're never going to, like, God forbid, knock on wood, like land in the water and like just go flat down. No, you're going to turn over. It's going to spin. So they were like, like there's a reason why we do this. Is not because like we don't trust the pilots or, whatever might happen. Like something might happen where potentially you might end up in the water and you need to know how to get the hell out of there.
Oh, that's true.
No one's trying to pay your mom $400,000.
$400,000.
Yeah. So I seen some video and the guy like, I guess I don't know.
Oh wow, yeah, they didn't teach us any of that. They said, I guess
is your camera?
I guess if the helicopter crash, well, I don't know. I don't know. Oh well.
I'll be
what you do?
I'll be limdo for a long time.
Like my mom, they're gonna have a call to my mom's like, yeah, your son was on a helicopter. It's like, why was he on a helicopter?
Yeah, I thought
he works in the engine room.
Well, he's in the Navy. Why is he on a plane? That'd be so funny.
But yeah, but the helicopter experience was definitely scary. It's not like a touring helicopter, like say like they built it for like passengers and like comfortability. No, this is military. This is like, all right, we're gonna get to point A to point B as fast as we can, get these pictures, and then land fast. That's it. We're up in the air for like 15, 20 minutes. It was a good ride though. Like I've never felt like a vertical pull up, like really like that was hard.
But I bet getting off the ship was nice too.
Getting off the ship was nice, but like you're like so high up in the air, getting pictures of all like the ships, and it's like it's beautiful, and it's like you don't see anything. It's just water everywhere. Like
it's crazy to think. You know what I mean? Like the world is like I don't know, it's like 85% water or something like I don't know, it's some big number. Don't quote me. I don't drink too many Snapples, so I don't have too many Snapple facts. Yeah. But you got to think like the world is like mostly water, and it's crazy how like so much of it is like I guess you could say like unexplored in a way. You know what I mean? And like these big ass ships go so far, and it's like, how the hell do you know where you're going? You know what I mean? Like,
like when you're up there in the air, it's just like everything is so small.
Everything looks the same. Like,
like all the ships look so tiny, but then when you're going like back down, it's like you're on a whole like island. Yeah, like, especially on the carrier, you're on an island.
Oh, you were on a carrier?
I was on the carrier. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Honestly, I had a good time because like you meet a lot of people like every other day.
I heard that. I get pros and cons about pros mostly from a carrier and cons mostly from a smaller ship. One, because the carrier is bigger. It needs to support more people, so there's more things to do and there's more amenities.
Yeah.
Also, you get to like hang out with more people.
Yeah. The only downside of a carrier, I gotta say, was the chow lines.
This man loves to eat, bro. That's all he does.
And like you see the chow line, and you'd be like, "Yeah, you know what? Not today. Not this meal. I'm just gonna skip it. Just get some ramen from the next little store that we have in the ship."
They have like a little store like that.
Yeah, they have a ship store. Yeah, you can get ramen. Chef Boyardee was my favorite. I downed so much Chef Boyardee, RV, and
Chef Boyardee. Chef Boyardee. Drooling right now.
Ramen and Chef Boyardee, that's all I had in like my first deployment.
Damn, that's crazy.
Because I noticed the chow lines are like, you'll be on chow line for like 30, 40 minutes and like you're growling hungry. By the time you go on the line, you're growling hungry.
Is the food good?
It's like it's like a hit or a miss. The rice is
still is.
So the chicken is never like fully like, it's always dry.
Yeah.
And then the rice is like half cooked. So like sometimes you be eating and then you get that crunchy part.
I didn't know rice would be crunchy.
But honestly, like the first like few weeks of deployment, the food was terrible because you're not used to it. Once you get used to it after a month or two, that food is amazing.
But you also learn like how to like make it yourself in a way. Like salt, pepper, red pepper, hot sauce. Like my thing, like Tabasco and Cholula should sponsor the military because they would do it in art.
I put A1 sauce on everything.
A1, yeah.
Yep.
Oh god,
A1 sauce on like fish, tacos, just
fish,
anything.
cereal,
just some flavor. That's really it.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, the food is like, you know, it has all those preservatives and salt to keep it fresh and, you know, keep it like, you know, last a long time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of get used to it at that point.
Yeah.
And you can't order like DoorDash. They don't have like.
Oh, no DoorDash, no pizza, no anything. Yeah. You're going off of what do you have stashed in your rack or whatever they have in the ship store.
Damn.
Yeah.
So your first time going on a ship, right? You're brand new. You pack your sea bag with like the essentials, and you're like, all right, I'm good to go. But then you see this other guy pull out his DS and a TV, and you're like, damn. So the second time you went on a ship, was there a second time you went on a ship?
Yeah, there was a second time. So
did you like to give the audience a perspective? Like, what should they be bringing? Like some tips and tricks.
So one thing I got to say that you should always bring on a ship is a lot of dry food, like a lot of beef jerky, just little snacks to eat, because sometimes you get really hungry and a snack will just do it. But what I brought was a PS4, a small 5-inch monitor this big. A lot of Velcro strips. You have no idea how, like, Velcro strips are the biggest thing to bring, because you can mount your phone on top of your rack.
That's actually smart. So you could like watch TV.
You can watch TV off there.
Can you imagine the Velcro just over time just like peels off?
So the Velcro I had was like a 50-pound Velcro thing. It was industrial Velcro.
Velcro, and that's your list.
So it's Velcro, a lot of. Well, I work in engine rooms, so I sweated like every single time we walked in. So a lot of brown shirts.
Okay.
Brown shirts. I had 50 brown shirts, I believe.
Damn.
A lot of brown. Like my whole one side of the rack was just all brown shirts. Because
you don't wear the cover. Oh, you have to wear the brown shirt.
We wear the coveralls. Yeah. So we had like 4 or 5 coveralls, and then the ship's laundry is usually like once a week or once every 2 weeks. So think about that. Like you got to have like.
Wait, so they do the laundry for you?
So you have everything in the knit bag, and you throw it in, and then they do it as a bulk wash.
Oh, I got you. So like boot camp, but they don't take everything out of the bag.
They keep everything in the bag. And the thing is, you got to keep your bag small so everything is washed. There's people that like stuff it in,
and nothing's gonna be able to move.
Anything in the middle doesn't get washed. Like, it'll still be dry.
Really?
Like it's that bad. Yeah.
Well, there's some crusty people.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
There's always that one person.
Yeah. Did you have a top rack, middle rack, or a bottom rack?
Bottom rack.
You had the bottom rack?
I had the middle rack on the first half of deployment, and I changed over to the bottom rack because I noticed the bottom rack is nice and cold. And like it's the most darkest rack.
So if you like dark and you like cold, get the bottom rack.
The bottom rack.
I heard stories about the bottom rack though.
People use it to like climb to the top rack, things like that.
Or there was times where one of my buddies told me like they were at port and everyone got back to the ship and the dude was on the top rack and he's yakking all over and it's trickling past the middle one, hitting the bottom rack, and this dude is just getting covered in throw up.
Ooh.
I'm glad it never happened.
It never happened to me, but I had a good experience in the middle rack, better experience in the bottom rack. Bottom rack, I like it dark.
Me too.
Then the thing is, like, when people are talking within the rack, everyone's like middle to high rack, like height. So like when people are talking, you don't hear anyone talk. It's like very quiet.
That's true. Yeah. Do
So
you have like more space being on not more space in your rack, but more space to like you like use things?
Honestly, you have it's like the same amount of space, but like with the middle rack, it's easier to like get your stuff from your cover
because
you're just standing.
Yeah, you're
on the bottom rack is like you're like squatting and like trying to like get things from the back. But the thing is, like, no one, even like when we get racked out, no one bothers the bottom rack person because they always forget about the bottom rack. So I was always like sleeping in sometimes.
Oh my god! And I know you're a sleepy boy, dude. I've worked with you for a little bit now, and I was like, this dude is just, I don't know how he's like literally sitting up. Like if you have sunglasses, if you can wear sunglasses, then
I just have my mouth open.
Yeah, just well, that's good. Oh, okay, so the bottom rack's not bad. If you do get the bottom rack, you know it's gonna be cold. So if you like it cold, good for you. Yeah. And it's gonna be dark, yeah. Because I'm one of those sleepers, man. Like I need the TV off, I need it pitch black, and I want to be cold.
Yeah.
Like even like doctors say, like you should sleep cold because it helps you get a better night's sleep.
Yeah, I think you always wake up like warm.
Exactly. Yeah.
You wake up in the middle of the night, you're just like, why is it so hot?
Yeah, dude, like going to bed, like I literally have no blankets.
Yeah.
I don't even use I only use the fitted sheet. I don't use like that other sheet on my bed. Like,
Oh, okay.
ever since I was younger, I've never used it. I was like, this is fucking annoying.
Oh,
Because I just don't like being like smothered. I like to sleep like free, you know?
Yeah. Even I do like it when it's cold, but like I need something covering me while it's cold.
Yeah, well, the comforter, like the big blanket, the top blanket. And then I got like another blanket I've had since I was like fucking like 6.
Oh wow.
I got it from the hospital, like when I don't know, I hurt myself, went to the hospital, they gave me a blanket. I was like, this blanket's comfy. I've had it ever since. Don't judge me. Everyone, got some shit like that.
Yeah, I hear you.
But okay, so you got the bottom rack. Thanks for the tips and tricks, because Velcro, I had no clue. I didn't know Velcro. But now that I'm thinking about it, like there's literally so much shit. Like duct tape, zip ties, and Velcro straps like have so many purposes.
Yes.
That you're just like, yeah, this is not gonna
And then
work.
possibly battery packs and like
That's
all right, so say you're going on a ship and Spotify actually, they stop your music, all your downloads. They stop it after 30 days if you don't have reception. Because we were at sea for 5 months, and the first month I had my music. Next thing you know, they all cut off. I'm like, why did my Spotify cut off? All my friends are like, what, you didn't screen record all your music? I was like, what do you mean screen record my music? It's like, yeah, Spotify won't work because we don't have data. Because they can't tell you're paying a monthly.
Screen record your Spotify music. Otherwise you're gonna lose it.
Yup.
Dude, I had no clue. What about Apple Music? Because I have Apple Music. I'm one of those bougie people.
It's probably the same.
It's downloaded to my phone though.
It's downloaded to your phone, but the thing is, they don't know that you're paying a monthly subscription when you're out at sea with no data.
That's true. So yeah, that's another thing. So like when you go on deployment and you have all these auto pay things and you don't have service like on your phone to do it or make sure everything's good to go, be wary of that. Okay.
So
damn screen record.
Yeah.
Yo, these shit motherfuckers are innovative, dude. Let me tell you.
So on the second deployment, what I did is like probably like a week after or before. So I was in Japan, so I had to go to a hotel to get like fast Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I literally booked a hotel just to use internet. Everything, downloading movies, downloading TV shows. My phone was just overnight was just screen recording playlists that I listened to. So then once we went on deployment and they all cut off, I was like, oh, no worries. I got all my screen records here, and now I'm scrubbing through 2 hours of a screen recording a video, trying to find a certain song I'm trying to find.
Dude, that's so funny. And I bet there was other things that you could screen record too, because you're gonna get lonely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's thumb drives and everything. AirDrop was the biggest thing. If you don't have an iPhone
you're gonna be deployment, a lot of shit.
You're gonna be passing around a lot of stuff. So if you don't have an iPhone, then you're screwed.
Yeah. Okay. So get an iPhone.
Get an iPhone.
Screen record your music and bring Velcro.
Yeah. Velcro and hard drives, and definitely have a small little PC or something.
Yeah, you need something to entertain yourself.
Yeah.
I heard Switch and I was like, that's actually good.
So a lot of people had Switch, but I'm not much of a gamer.
Nah, a laptop would probably be more ideal for me because you can like download a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like use Steam and download a game. Like I love Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh, really?
I loved it.
Okay.
So like for that whole time that we were like locked down because of COVID, there was like a week where they like put us like in like this holding gym and they were like, hey, you guys gonna like wait here in these like weird barracks. And I was like, all right. But there was no Wi-Fi, there was no service, and I had nothing to do. So I literally took my laptop to like the Starbucks, got on their Wi-Fi, bought a game just so I can play something, and I came back to my room and I just sat there and just played games like Roller Coaster Tycoon for a week straight because it was COVID, so we couldn't go nowhere. The gyms were closed, the movie theaters closed, the Next was weird out, like it sucked.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, I would highly suggest a laptop. That's probably the best thing.
Wow.
Yeah, miserable.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. All right, so you're on the ship, right? This is your last time on a ship?
The second time was my last time on the ship, yeah.
What? So how long was your second deployment?
So our first deployment was 6 to 7 months at sea.
Yeah,
we didn't go anywhere.
That's like the norm, right?
It was during COVID, so we just we sailed the sea for 7 months.
Dude, can you imagine
join the Navy, you can see the world. Yeah. I saw the ocean for 7 months at a time.
You gotta keep your social distancing even on the water.
Honestly, there was no social distancing when we're even in on the ship because you there's no way. Yeah. We all quarantined.
You all quarantined and then you get on the ship, so
exactly.
No one's going anywhere.
Yeah, so we're all fine. We took off our mask and everything, and it was relaxed. It was like a normal deployment, I guess, but without just going anywhere. But one thing about going at 6 to 7 months at sea, once we start seeing land again, we're pulling back into Japan.
Yeah,
I've never seen the color green as vivid as ever.
Really?
Because everything is grayscale on the ship. Mm-hmm. The only thing you get color, I guess, is from your phone or something, but it's different.
Yeah.
Once you see the outside, trees and everything, you're your eyes are like learning to see different colors again.
What?
It's like
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's like when it's really dark and you turn the lights on and then you turn the lights off, like your eyes like have to readjust real quick.
Yeah,
That's crazy. So it's like you're colorblind for basically 6-7 months.
yeah, because you're seeing grayscale all the time, the whole time.
Damn, I didn't even think about that.
And then like once you come back, then like your phone starts like buzzing. And honestly, I had
They're good overseas.
their overseas plan was pretty good. It was $30 a month, so it was just like it was pretty easy. Everyone had the Japanese stuff. I didn't. I was like, no, I need T-Mobile because say we go to a different country, it can work. Go to Australia. We were promised to go to Australia and Guam and all this stuff, and no, we didn't go anywhere.
Do you have the military one plan?
Yes, I had it.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But once I
make sure.
yeah, that's only like $30 a month for the
Yeah,
international plan. But then once I came back here, then I was like, I have Verizon because it works in my area best.
Yeah, well, if you haven't seen my last video and you don't know what I'm talking about, I posted a video not too long ago about the T-Mobile Military One plan, where it's $50 a line for each line, and you get unlimited talk, text, data, and you're also able to like use your phone overseas for like no charge at all, unless you make phone calls, right? Because then that's when things get a little tricky. But Wi-Fi calling is completely free, texting is completely free, and yeah, save yourself some money because you don't want to get that phone bill for like $1,200. You know, like whoa, like
yeah, I think I spent like $6 on phone calls because it's like 5 cents a minute.
really?
Yeah, it's 5 cents a minute, and I just needed to get like calls, like I need to call my parents, like things like that. So like the $5-6 is nothing. So
Yeah, no, that's whatever.
Yeah.
Especially like, I mean, if I just spent like let's just say like halfway through it, right? You know, you do 3 months, you stop somewhere, and then you go back home. It takes you 3 months. If I spent 3 months on a ship and I have to talk to my parents, I don't give a fuck how much the phone bill is. I'm gonna call them.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ma, listen, like this call's gonna be expensive, so maybe
It's worth
Christmas this year, you know, give me some cash, but
yeah.
it's worth it at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you finish that deployment, and then what happens to you?
Then we did the second deployment, and then middle of deployment, I got hurt.
How'd you get hurt? Did you fall out of the helicopter?
I didn't fall off the helicopter.
Not good.
Knock on wood, but no. We were going down to the plant where I worked in the reactor space. There was lube oil on the top, and I didn't see it, and I slipped and fell and just like banged up myself a little bit, and then they took me off the ship because I couldn't like
You fell down what?
ladder well. The staircase going down to ship, and in the reactor department, it's not just like one flight; it's double flight. So you're going down a double flighted stairs.
And it's just like, so it's one flight, little landing, and then flight
No,
again?
it's just one straight flight to like 20 feet. Yeah,
So it's a 20-foot drop.
yeah, going right to the bottom of the ship.
And
Yeah.
you went face first, feet first?
I went face first. I hit the knife edge.
Wait, so explain this to me.
So we're going down to the ladder wells. We're going down the ladder wells. Like we always go fast because it's like
Oh, yeah.
it's we have to go down to the plant.
Muscle memory, too. You kind of used to
Muscle memory. There was no someone took the skid, what's it called, the non-skid. Someone put the non-skid away and like was cleaning it with alcohol or something, and then someone put like some type of oil on it or something, and I thought it was gonna be a non-skid so I could like pivot, go down. I went pivot, my foot slipped, I leaned forward, my left foot hit the knife edge, and I went face first down the ladder well,
20 feet.
20 feet, and I was just like, and like rolling a little bit. So when I twisted myself, I like messed up my knees or something, like tore my meniscus. And then landing, I tried to put my hand out and I dislocated my shoulder. It was an ugly fall. I've never felt so embarrassed in my life than that.
Damn.
Like I'm just on the ground, like like one of those Family Guy screams, like
Oh, yeah.
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 And then my shoulder was out, and I was like, all right, well, let me get up. And I went like this, trying to like pop it back in, and it finally like snapped in. I'm like, whoa, okay, that felt weird. And then my knees were paining, and then I went straight to medical. And
How long did you get there? You climbed back up the ladder?
I went by myself. I had so much adrenaline pumping, I didn't feel anything.
I get that.
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, it was like bright early in the morning, like 7:30, right before quarters.
Really? Did you eat breakfast at least?
No, on the ship I didn't eat breakfast. I only ate dinner
Why?
because lunch lines It's
I got you.
impossible.
Yep.
Breakfast lines, all the night shift people are trying to eat breakfast too, while the day crew's trying to eat breakfast. So it's just no point.
And then for dinner, people like have liberty, so they either go to the gym or they take that time, or
Well, it's on deployment, so there was no liberty. So dinner was only really night crew eating, because then they had mid rats where day crew wakes up and do their thing. So no one ate dinner. So that's the only time I ate.
Okay, so you picked out. You're like, I'll get good till tomorrow.
Each deployment, I lost probably like 30, 40 pounds.
Really?
Of just not eating and just like sweating. You lose a lot of weight on deployment. Yeah. That's why I missed about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Losing so much weight, like unintentionally.
That's how it was for us too. Like whenever we go somewhere, it's usually Asia, because that's like where I was deployed to most of the time, and it's always hot as fuck. So you're literally working on a project site for 10 hours a day, and your lunch is just like chicken and rice, because that's like what the locals have, you know. And you're sweating, and you're constantly drinking water, and you're drinking so much water, and you're still not sweating. You're like, something's wrong. But you get there, and then you leave like the 20, 30 pounds lighter, more tattoos, and a whole bunch of like bullshit to bring home to your family. Yeah, deployments are definitely like miserable, because you have to leave the States. You got to say goodbye to your loved ones. Like whatever situation you got going on, but deployment in itself is just something that's just so fun. Like the camaraderie, the chain of command, the leadership, like they all get it too. Like, like most of the time, like they have a wife or a husband and kids back home, so they're miserable too. But
we're all miserable together, and then we're all happy once like we're all together. So it's like those like 50-50 things. But like I love deployments. There's a lot of like bad stuff that happened. There's a lot of good stuff that happened, but I always focus on the good stuff, because I met really good friends on deployment.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, there's lifelong friends. Every episode I talk about this. Everyone always says the same thing. Like the military is the military, right? But the people you meet in it is some of the best people you'll ever meet.
Yeah,
and you'll be friends with them forever, whether it's on Facebook or it's like day-to-day FaceTime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So actually, I went to Knoxville last weekend, and one of my boys from the ship, he was out there. He's like, hey. Like, he was leading the ship when I was coming on, and he's like, hey, whenever you come to Tennessee or whatever, just, like, hit me up. I'm like, all right, sweet. I haven't talked to him in, like, 3 years. I hit him up. Hey, we're in Knoxville. You're there? And he's like, yeah, man, just crash on my place. You crash my couch, and we'll go out. I'm like, that was it.
Oh, that's perfect.
We haven't talked in 3 years, but, like...
I'm actually on my way to heaven now. I'm actually outside. Open the door, dude.
Say, yeah, I'm here. He's like, it was just, like, one of those things. Like, those military friends are different. Like, you would just call him up at any time. Hey, I'm nearby. You literally stop everything you're doing and just go.
Yeah, like, I trust this person,
Yeah, like...
He's in the military.
You live with them, too, like, on the ship.
Yeah. I know he's not dirty.
Yeah.
He put a little bit of laundry in the bag at a time, so...
Yeah.
Well, that's dope, man. Well, so, I want to get back on... I'm curious. So, you had a fear of the helicopters.
Yeah.
And then you got hurt. They put you on one and took you away.
So I didn't. So they didn't even like fly me off the ship at all. They were like dragging me on. It was a whole like medical thing, and it was a long story. But I didn't get seen by a doctor until we pulled back in 2 months afterwards.
Oh, so your body's all fucked up, and it's like they don't really know.
Yeah, and then as today, like it's been like 2 years ago since that injury, and I got 1 surgery done so far. Waiting on 2 more.
Yeah, well,
I got those scheduled, so now everything. Once I came here, then it was like much better.
Yeah,
so they took me out overseas. They couldn't do the surgeries overseas because if I got the surgeries overseas, I lived by myself in a barracks.
Yeah, you had to stay. Yeah.
So like, who's gonna like
take care of me?
Yeah. Like my parents are here, so
yeah. Plus, like you're in a different country, so like it's a lot harder for you to like figure things out.
Yeah,
like in America, you're like, okay, we got McDonald's or we have like Uber, but when you're in like Japan, you're like, what the fuck do I get? Like, so like, I don't know where I am.
Even to get an MRI, I had to go to a Japanese hospital to like get an MRI because the base didn't have it.
Yeah.
They didn't have so much technology. So when I came here, they're like, either like, hey, you live on East Coast or West Coast? I'm like, East Coast. It's like, all right, cool, put you here. I'm like, oh, perfect.
There you go. Well, that worked out. So good. I'm glad they did that for you at least.
Yeah.
And everyone says too, like the military always like fucks you like with your first set of orders because you get your wish list in a way, right?
Yeah.
And that's the only time the military will be like, hey, you're needed in the Navy. But after that, like whenever you get your look or like you call your detailer and try to work with them, for the most part, they always like help you out. Like every set of orders I've gotten after my first set where they were like, oh, you want to go East Coast? Well, here's the West Coast. And I was like, oh, great. You know what I mean? Like, but every time after that, they've always helped me out. It's like whatever I needed, I was like, can I do that?
Yeah, they just like filter out the people in the first round and then see who makes it out.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, well, they're like, you're probably not going to be.
Oh, so you're going to second fan? All right, we'll hook you up.
Yeah,
You're a good one.
Yeah. Do you plan on relisting?
If I could.
Oh, yeah.
If I could, no, I wouldn't. Even if I finish my contract on time, I wouldn't realist. I want to go back into filming and doing all the stuff I did before I joined.
Okay. You're still doing that currently, filming, right?
Yeah, I'm still filming now. Like right now, we have a good schedule, and like I always try to work around it.
Okay.
So that's why I come to work tired a lot, because I'm either like at a different university doing someone's wedding, and then coming right back to work and make it on time. I always make it on time to muster. That's all that matters.
Damn, that's.
I'll be tired, but yeah, I'm here.
He is one of those, but he's there. I'm like, damn, this dude just made it. But like he's on time. He's wearing the right uniform. They always say right place, right time, right uniform.
That's
Those
it.
are the 3 things you need in the military to not get in trouble. Anything else after that, you're on your own.
Yep.
So that's good. I'm glad this little business is going for you. Do you have like a link or something you want to plug in? Like maybe someone wants to book you.
Yeah. So my Instagram is Snapxevents, and it's just SNAPXEVENTS. Snapxevents. What I do is photo, video of any type of, like if content creating or anything. If you need a camera guy on any situation, I'm there.
Are you on YouTube as well? Yeah.
I do YouTube vlogs, but I haven't started in a minute. Okay. But I might be starting actually this weekend.
Okay,
because I have a few things lined up this weekend that I want to record.
No, I'll throw some of your I'll throw like your link and all of that good stuff. I like to take like everyone I do like pictures of them, like either in the service or prior service, whatever pictures they like in a way. But also their socials, and plug their socials into like the beginning of the video.
Oh, cool.
This way people can actually see it. You know what I mean? You ever like someone be like, hey, download this app, and you're like, well, what does it look like?
What does it look like?
Because I don't want to get the wrong one.
Yeah.
So I'll always do that. I'll take some screenshots of yours and I'll throw them in there as well. So
word. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt, bro.
Awesome.
So you do weddings, you do birthdays, bar mitzvahs, the whole time. What I also see you do a lot of like weightlifting.
Yes. So I go to the gym. So once I first got here, I was able to like lift some weight. So I found a friend on Instagram, and she started posting stuff at this really cool gym, and she's from this area. And I'm like, hey, what gym is this? It's like, oh, okay. I signed up for the gym, and they have a military discount and everything. Perfect. It's $120 for a normal person, but for military, it's $60.
Really?
Yeah, it's expensive.
Damn.
So what I started,
that's a good gym then.
yeah, and it's a pro gym, so a lot of pro people go there.
And the weights go past 40.
It's like the highest dumbbell they have is a 180, and I'm like, I'm not, I'm good. But no, I started
with 180.
Yeah, for real. So I started going to that gym, started lifting, I loved it, and then I started networking with people there, because like they're all bodybuilders, they're all like competing for like these big shows, and I started networking with them, and then next thing you know, I started working with them, and then I just do a lot of content for like a lot of fitness influencers and things like that. So
that's dope.
So it worked out. I do a lot of stuff just to reach out and like just network with people. Like talking to people and networking with people is like the biggest thing for like my type of like genre of stuff. So
that's good. Yeah, you can't let like this whole military thing like run your whole life. You need to find something like in your niche that makes you happy, right? Like going to the gym, yeah, that's one thing, but also like doing your videography, that's another big thing, because one, you're setting yourself up so when you do potentially get out of the military, you have something to fall back on to keep you going, right?
Exactly, yeah.
The military has that skill bridge program, so you've heard of skill bridge? Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, the military, which I'm going to be looking to get into it, and if anybody's interested, just hit me up. I don't care who you are, I don't care how many followers you have, I answer everybody. What the skill bridge program does, it's kind of like a work release from the military, where either 3 to 6 months before you get out, you'll technically stay in the military, but you'll work for a company on the civilian side. This way, when you get out of the military, you can either continue that job with that company if everything aligns and everything works out between you and them, or you still gain that experience so that when you do get out of the military and you don't stay with that job, you can use that somewhere else. Definitely something really good that I feel not a lot of people take advantage of, and I think they should. When you take advantage of the skill bridge and your GI Bill all at once, it's like, and then your VA loan, like those are like the 3 biggest things people talk about, but like I don't really see people do it a lot. Maybe I'm just blind to it, but I'm definitely a big advocate for it.
Everyone is just focused on that end date and just get out.
Exactly.
That's what a lot of people do.
And then you're like, well, then what?
Well, now what?
Yeah, and
like now you're like, do I need a muster somewhere? Do I need like, hey, Mom, I'm gonna go eat chow. Like, you don't need to call me. Like you just do it yourself.
Yeah. Like, What time did we get out today, Mosh?
So like, so it's funny because like, when I was in Japan, I didn't take leave at all. I didn't go home. I just stayed because tickets are expensive coming back home. Like, it was like $2-3 grand.
Too expensive as hell.
So when I came back home, I was like telling my brothers, "Hey, I'm gonna go outside and wash the cars." Like, okay, why do you need to tell me that? It's like I was just telling everyone little things that I was doing because I'm so used to telling my LPO or my chief, "Hey, where are you going? Hey, I'm gonna use the head." Like, I was telling my brothers random things.
Literally, like you have to tell somebody like when you go into the bathroom, because if you don't tell somebody you're going to use the head, and that's 5 minutes you're gone and they're looking for you, it's like, where the fuck were you?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, take
Calling
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
dude, I was busy. Like I was doing something. You know what I mean?
Like, that's like one of the things I've learned. Like, even now, is like when you're in the civilian side, you don't need to be telling people like those little things anymore.
Yeah.
It was so drilled in my head.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm gonna use a head. Like, just go. You're at home. Like,
flush, I guess. Oh, that was dope.
Good luck, I guess.
Dope, man. Dope.
Yeah.
Nah, this has been fun, dude. This has been real fun. Do you have any questions for me?
What's next after this?
Go home, man. It's about that. Nah, I'm joking. I don't know, man. Honestly, like, you mean like podcast wise or like life wise?
Yeah, life wise, podcast wise.
So life wise, I mean, I have like a little over a year and a half left in the Navy. So I'll finish out the rest of my contract, do skill bridge, like I said.
Nice.
I kind of want to get into home inspecting.
Okay.
While I do skill bridge, I'll use that for like plumbing, and I'll actually have like a stable 9-to-5 job, making like solid money to support my wife and my family. And then I want to do home inspecting to use my GI Bill. And then when I finally get that up and running, kind of like I like to compare it to the podcast, right? Like right now, I don't make no money. I don't care about making money. I do this for active duty service members and veterans, giving them a chance to tell their stories and also try to tackle and cover mental health as best I can. So if this, let's just say this takes off metaphorically to like Joe Rogan, right? Mm-hmm. I don't need to work. I can just keep doing this.
Hey, so just hit me up.
Yeah, that's true.
You start filming and everything.
There you go. Then I'll give you a job, and you won't have to work either.
We work together again.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, God, I don't know if I want to do that. this is weird. Yeah.
Say, bro, we're getting your snoring your camera. Like, oh, my bad.
I'm just unplugging his mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of the plan, man. And then continue to keep doing this. I honestly, I love doing this podcast thing. I think it's so fun. Like you said earlier, it's about like being on camera and like talking to people in front of the camera. Like I have zero problem like making a fool out of myself. You know what I mean? That's like step one to like talking in front of people. Like you have to get rid of like that, you know, that nerve, all those nerves and shit. So yeah, man.
Awesome.
I'm excited, dude. I'm excited.
Yeah, same. Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Of course, man. Give me a hug, brother, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Of course. Until next time, guys. Beautiful.
Views presented are those of the speaker, and the guest do not necessarily represent the views of the Department of Defense or its components. Neither the Department of Defense or its components bears any responsibility for the accuracy, legality, or content of the views discussed on this podcast.